We are live here with the brand new podcast, Grownups in the Industry. So exciting.
Let's go.
Here live with Chad Law, hip hop guru extraordinaire, artist
I'm
liaison,
here, y'all. Yeah.
promoter. We're just so
What's
excited.
going on with it? Good to be here. I'm glad to be here. I'm feeling good, feeling blessed. I'm trying to get at the right angles. Can you see me at this angle?
Yes.
Is it sideways?
No.
All right, so I'm gonna go straight like this. Now
Now we can
just
see
off
you.
my iPhones right now. I just got this. All right, cool. I'm good.
Awesome.
I'm
Looks
good.
perfect. So
All right, cool. I'm here.
let us hop straight into this interview, shall we?
Let's do it. Let's get to it. We here.
Yes. So you have had an awesome career in the music and entertainment space and have worked with many great entertainers, artists. How would you describe your evolution and your revolution from the beginning to now?
Consistency, honestly. A lot of consistency, staying my foot to people's necks, not giving up, staying at it all the time. The consistency is really what does it. You know what I'm saying? Really puts it over the top. That's probably the top thing. Like everybody always says, like you haven't let up, like you've been here this whole time. You haven't stopped. You haven't slowed down. So I think that's it for me.
So awesome. So true. You know, that's what they say, consistency, staying on top of your game, keeping your finger on the pulse of what's going on. That's what you're all about. So definitely.
Has to be, because if you're not, nobody else is going to do it for you. You have to be.
Exactly. And so how do you feel your upbringing in New York, because you're from New York, informed how you move today?
New York gives me that hustle and bustle because New York City is super fast paced. So, people are always, we moving and shaking. That's how it is in New York City. So it really gives me that type of feel when I'm out in New York. When I come from New York, I've been born and raised in Amityville, Long Island. So I've been there all my life. I've been out in Atlanta only 3 years. So it's a little slower pace out here in the South compared to New York. But New York always instills that hustle in me, and it always instills like that New York minute. Like anything can change. Like my New York Day parties don't leave me at all.
Your New York Day what?
Crazy enough.
Yes.
My New York State road rage.
Yes, for sure. So talk about it. Talk about the change from New York to Atlanta, and how the different hubs of creativity. They're both like powerful. As far as like bringing out the talent. But how are they different to you?
They're different in lifestyles, culture. Out here, they're more in the guns and Waffle House. It's a lot of trap, jug, dabbling, finesse. Out here with the music scene and the culture. It's the city though. There's a lot of good music out here, but culturally, it's a complete culture shock. I just love being around Black people all the time, especially coming from New York. Like being around a melting pot of everybody. It's nice to be around just like a majority of Black folk. Taco Bell, Black people. You know what I'm saying? Smoke shop, Black people. Wine spot, Black people. Anywhere you go, it's a majority Black. At least in the city of Atlanta. So, and this is where I try to remain. I've lived in the suburbs, but there's nothing like it. Different from New York City, that's for sure. It's a lot shorter, a lot smaller.
A lot shorter? Oh yeah, definitely a lot smaller.
Smaller, yeah.
That's right.
And so it's a cool city nonetheless. It is a circle.
A small circle, right? Everybody knows each other.
Yeah, I'll say a circle. That's the safest thing to tell people. Atlanta is like a circle.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Let's talk about
6 degrees of separation. Like hold on. You froze on me. Are you good?
I froze on you? We good?
Yeah, you good. I'm ready.
Okay, okay.
Good. Yeah, we good. We good.
Okay, cool beans. Let's talk about some news. What's going on today in the entertainment industry, or what happened, earlier this month. A few years ago, VH1 began broadcasting on January 1st, 1985, right? So it's a sister station to MTV. It started out targeting young teenage and young adult audiences, and then kind of over time, kind of switched it up a little bit, you know? And now their audience is vastly different from how it was back in the day, right? So now, whereas before we had, you know, different types of shows, now we have Basketball Wives, we have Love and Hip Hop, you know, we have the Black Ink Crew series, you know. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how the demographic changed over time. How do you see, you know, that demographic changing, and what do you think was kind of the key to their secret sauce? How they changed it up?
reality reality TV. They've always been ahead of VH1's always been on this shit when it came to reality television. Like, you know, they or even just even content television in general, like content based. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the content base because that I love the '80s, I love the '70s. Like I used to watch a lot of that shit on VH1. They had so much dope stuff on their channel, you know. So I was definitely hip to them like early on when it came to what they were doing. So you know, VH1 definitely changed up the landscape, and now everything's just reality TV. I barely even watch TV. I'm just always on YouTube or working, so
Right,
I can't say
right.
I'm too much into the space, but until the TV space. But you know, VH1 is always doing whatever it needs to do when it comes to Love and Hip Hop and you know Black Ink Crew. That's one of my favorite shows though, Black Ink Crew for sure.
Yeah,
I
for
definitely
sure.
watch a lot of Black Ink Crew.
For sure.
Yeah,
And
shout out
then
to
you are
Chicago, the whole Chicago season, New York season. I ain't got
hey.
no tattoos, but I watch a lot of Black Ink though. It's crazy.
That's so
I just
awesome.
respect. I respect Caesar's business acumen.
Mhm, mhm.
You know,
And being
Caesar's
able
a
to take
hustler.
it from where he was and then blow it up, and now he's on VH1. You know what I mean? Like his secret sauce. That's what we want to
Five,
know.
6, 8 seasons in. Right. They
Yeah.
leading it, you know what I'm saying? 5, 6, 7 seasons in. Him and Ryan from Chicago. Like they, you know, they putting in work. So I love to see it.
Hmm. See black people in power, putting themselves in position to, you know, show us how, you know, how it's done. Show us how it's done.
That's it. That's how we gotta do.
For
It's
sure.
only
Well,
right.
speaking of showing us how it's done, you are the co-creator of the company We Are the Inner Circle. So talk a little bit about
Hmm.
that. How important is that partnership? Because it's a partnership. It's not just you. How important is that partnership when it comes to making moves in the
Right.
entertainment industry, and how do you flow together to make things happen?
It's really communication. We went through our
Mm,
growing pains over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years of doing working as a team, I should say. You know, I've been doing my stuff solo since 2010, but it was really the last like 5, 6 years I decided to really add more people onto the team because I can't do everything alone. So it's
right.
just juggling communication, making sure that we all stay on top of the service that we need to do to get to our goal. But also because we all do different things in our group, like I do promotions and marketing,
Mm,
Mac does event production as well. I do event production as well too. But Mac Vic, he does a lot of the event production and booking, and you know HD, he does the DJing, playlisting,
mm,
artist managerial agent stuff as well too. So you know, we all play different roles. You know, so we all stay
mm.
consistent and busy with everything that we get done. But it's all for the greater good of the team.
So true. And so, what lessons have you learned, you know, during your career that you would like to share to help others from maybe where they might have slipped a little bit, that you can help prevent them from slipping?
Mm, have a budget early. Come
Mm, mm,
prepared. Come prepared with a budget. Like
yeah.
always have some money with you when it comes to doing something, anything, any idea. It's going to take those finances because you could try to wait for those angel investors. You could try to wait for those people that are going to come and you know swoop down and believe in the dream. But there's nothing like doing it on your own, really handling it because you can control your own destiny. You control your fate
So true. And speaking of
for sure.
controlling your fate, you know, you are a brand. So being a brand and a business is what the entertainment industry is about, being both, you know, not just one or the other. So what advice do you have to
Hmm.
give to young artists, as well as those who are looking to enter the blogosphere like yourself, who want to become successful in being a brand?
Let's see. I said consistency. I said budget. I think we talked about it. I almost want to say the first three things that were brought pounded into one is what makes it happen. You got to have consistency, budget, and a team. Like
And a
those three
team.
things that were mentioned in the previous couple minutes. Like yeah, staff. Like you can't just do it all alone. You could try to, but there's only so many things you can get done a day when you're trying to manage your own life outside of the music industry.
Right.
So I think, it really comes to having a team, having a budget, like having a good consistent bankroll with you, whether it's the 9 to 5 money, whether it's stocks,
Mhm.
other investments, different properties, whatever it is, just have that cash flow on deck, because you can move things a lot faster than hopes and dreams. So, just make sure you have that and consistency. Just stay at it. Keep knocking on people's doors. They'll give you favors, whether you got to pay for the favors, or you got to pay for the work, or they give you the favors. Just keep knocking at their doors. You won't know until you get there whether there's a rate or there's not a rate. You won't know till you try till you get there.
For
And this is
sure.
coming from somebody that never did an internship. I never had an internship. I had to do this all on my own. Even going to college, I built everything going to work 9 to 5 and putting all my own money into events and promo and marketing and blogging, ad money way back when. So I'm like, I want to say I'm a true testimony to those people that got it out of just feeling like their back was against the wall. It's like I could
Mhm.
have went to an internship and did all that stuff, but it's like I wanted to just have money. I needed bread. I
Hey,
didn't want to be broke.
talk
Broke
about
in
it.
this industry. It sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks. Budgeting is so key. That's what I was doing early on. It was messing me up. I was proper, and that's why I speak about it now.
Mhm. For sure, budgeting is
I
important.
was
And like you
spending
said,
money.
yeah, you said you were
I
spending money.
wasn't. It's like I was spending money, and I was also like, I wish I just knew the things that I knew now. Then, just the way you feel about spending money as a young college kid. You know what I mean? Just
Mhm.
the kids nowadays have a lot more to learn from our mistakes, but that's what we're here to do. Teach my sister this and all of my younger siblings and my brothers and stuff. Like, learn from my mistakes. You still got time as well too. I mean, I still got time too. I ain't no dinosaur, but
No,
we get up there in age, so you gotta be mindful. Every day matters.
for sure. And they say each one teach one, right? And then we'll make a revolution. We'll make a change, right? And we'll be able to grow and
100%.
for sure, for sure. And so let's get
A
into some
hundred
fun
percent.
topics. Some fun topics. You work with Charlemagne the God as an
For sure.
editor during your career. So how did that position impact your career, and what did you learn from it?
Charlemagne worked hard. It was cool because it added some good credibility to the resume. People got to see what I can do on a blog. I mean, they already saw what I was doing on a blogger's tip, but they just were like, "Oh, you could just even get to this outlet. Like, you can get in front of Charlemagne's eyes and ears, and like you would check out some of the stuff they're doing on the website." Shout out to my homegirl Sojo. She's based out in Miami and Harlem. She's dope. She puts want to put me in position for that. Without her, there wouldn't have been that situation. So Sojo is great. She's for XO Nicole. Well, she's written for XO Nicole. She's written for BT. She's doing VH1 work. She's super active in the industry. Sincerely, Sojo. Check her out on Instagram. And yeah, working with Charlamagne was cool. It was cool.
Awesome, awesome. And
Just on
so,
the website. It was on the website.
right, right. That's how you work with him. Correct. Hey,
Yeah,
every little kind counts, right? Little or big.
definitely, absolutely. No,
For
and I don't take that. I don't take that for granted at all. Some people like they can't even get to the website, and the fact that I can access his website and blog and talk about stuff on his platform is it's good enough too. But I appreciate it. Everything counts.
everything counts, for sure. So
For
let's
sure,
get
for
into
sure.
some fun topics. We're going to talk about investing in a bit since you brought it up. But first,
Let's do it.
how do you define love, and how do you feel about like the industry curse, right? Especially in Hollywood, of it being hard to find and stay in a relationship once you get into the industry heavy.
You gotta date somebody that knows your habits and your time, and they know how you operate and comfortable with it. Well, let me not actually scratch that. Let me erase that whole phrase. That's not so toxic. Let me say, you gotta just deal with someone who is understanding of your lifestyle and your career choice. Because there are
Mhm.
some people who just, they want more. And at this point in my life, I know I'm so close to achieving the goal, the biggest goal of all the goals that I've been trying to accomplish in my time of doing, and I'm so close to it. And it's like nothing taking me off this pivot. nothing's taking me off this grind. It's discipline. You got to have discipline. Power and discipline is what I would tell people to have coming into this. Discipline and willpower, whether it's a relationship, a connection, whether, if you are in this industry, you got to have discipline and willpower. That's the best way to survive. I'll add that to the previous questions. I feel like more answers are coming on as we go along, but you're going to compound this interview and just take all the good answers,
They got to be paying attention. You got to be paying attention.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. So yeah, discipline and willpower is what I will say. And as far as just, when you find someone you like, you just gotta explain to them what you do, how you maneuver. There comes a bad stigma with the things that we do in our field. So some people are a little, not trying to date someone in the industry. Understandably, it's not for everybody. They don't understand the lifestyle. Some people work 7 to 7, 9 to 5, and they don't really get it, and it's, I'm not knocking the hustles. There's, I got 8 different hustles. It's okay. I know how to get it. So it's time. It's timing, discipline, and willpower. Because if you really want someone, you're going to make a time for them. But at the same time, nothing's stopping me from getting to this end of this. That finish line is right there. That feeling is so much. It means everything to someone like me right now to be closer to that, to getting out that dream, closing out on that dream.
So awesome. And so let's talk about that investment. Since you brought it up, right? What advice do you have to give to those who are looking to increase their streams of income, right? Because that's what investing, stocks, all of that is. So what advice would you have to give to people who are trying to get into that? Because they say, you can't listen to everybody's advice, but I have a pretty good idea that we can listen to yours. So what would you say?
I think I'll say diversify your portfolio. That's what like the big dogs always say. So just always try to do multiple things. Try to stretch out your dollars. That 50, 20, 30 or 50, 30, 20 rule. I try to do 20, 20, 20, 20 across the board, where it's like I'll put something into every pot. So I know I can go back and there's $100 here that I needed for this, and it's okay, cool. There's $1,000 here that I needed for this. That's cool. I put that money away 6 months ago. Good money. All right, I'm coming back to it. There's certain things that I just say, just try to put your money into. Don't spread yourself too thin. But always try to keep trying to look for more opportunity than just what's in front of you, because if you're a hustler, well, to me, like, you always gonna want more than just what's in front of you. You're not gonna settle. You don't want to just settle and be complacent. You want to be at the highest plateau. So just always just invest money into something cool, things that you like, things that you do, things that you buy.
Makes sense.
That's that.
Alrighty. So what words do you want to define your story when they look you up in the hip hop history books?
Words, though. I want to go with determined. I want to go with disciplined, skilled, relevant, veteran, young OG, consistent, flavorful, tasteful, impactful, integratable. There we go. I'm gonna go with Godiva.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with clean skin.
All that yummy goodness.
Great hygiene. Yes, you gotta go with that. I gotta lean into the young Godiva aspect of my life. So, we have that. So let me just end with that. All those words, all of that.
All those words. So awesome. Well, unfortunately, we have reached the end of this episode, but it has been bomb. You've been dropping gems like no other on this first episode of Grownups in the Industry podcast. We had a whole grown industry conversation. For sure. So
it was good. It was a great time. I appreciate you for the time and the platform.
For sure. Thank you for joining me. So
Let's
where can we find you on social media and the web?
let's go with CHADLAW everything, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the whole enchilada, everything Chad Law. It's all me, the original one and only. There's quite a few other variation people, my name out there, but I'm the one and only Young Gaddafi Chad Law. So CHADLAW everything, my face and my name and my bio will pop up on every platform.
There we go. Y'all know how to find them, so hit them up. And
For
this
sure.
has been an awesome, awesome episode, y'all. We are out. Thank you.
Yeah.